your network needs to be super important, but filled with, high value guys that are just wanting to get most out of life, because we only have 80 quality years, and the first 40 are already behind me. So I'm halfway there.
I know.
And then after that, I don't know what to expect after 80 years old. I can't foresee it. So you realize, like, man, you have limited time and there's so much left to do and to improve. So you need to talk with guys that are actually doing that as well. And
exactly.
Just omit all the guys who are not doing that, because otherwise it just weigh down. But when you go to a seminar like this, or the Mr. Olympia or Arnold Classic, or where a lot of people, of our fitness industry gravitate, you start meeting all the people that you actually helped, with really YouTube or one-on-one. It's super cool, man. Yeah. It's super cool. So that's where most of my gratification comes from nowadays, like all the people that don't have to make the same mistakes that we made. Yeah, the more the merrier, So if I can get it to a million people that I help, man, it would be absolutely fantastic. But step one is 100,000.
You're almost there, right? What are we at, 80,000 or something?
84. Yeah, it's growing fast with collaborations like this. It's growing faster. So maybe 100,000 by the Olympia.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll have to go to that too.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be in the US for 2 weeks.
Awesome,
maybe 3 weeks. Maybe I'll swing past Vancouver if Derek can get out of his man cave.
Yeah,
the sauna. I might swing past Derek and do something in person, but we'll have to plan it accordingly because this guy's so busy. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. But yeah, man, I feel like the more successful I get too, like the wealthier I get, the frugaler I get. And I'm just like, when am I ever going to be happy? And that's like something that now I'm working on, because there's all these different metrics of like health, and you dial in lab work, and then I'm like, oh, I still have this whole like spiritual health stuff that I need to investigate, and relationships and stuff. And these are things that a lot of people don't talk about, which I'm very happy that Merrick Health does. We have PCCs who will talk to their patients about that kind of stuff, because lab work is one aspect of health, and it's this multifaceted arena. And you're not going to feel good even if the lab work's dialed in when your relationships are shit and you don't have spiritual health, and or you're not happy at your job, or you're just grinding, you don't even know why. And so it's just kind of interesting, and that kind of stuff is what I'm more working on now. That's what's been fun with my podcast too, is just kind of like, I don't know if you feel this way, but sometimes just talking to another dude is super cathartic. It's like, it's just so nice,
It helps, especially if they're both driven, and you talk about the struggles along the way. It helps a lot, man. Yeah. That's why your network needs to be super important, but filled with, high value guys that are just wanting to get most out of life, because we only have 80 quality years, and the first 40 are already behind me. So I'm halfway there. And then after that, I don't know what to expect after 80 years old. I can't foresee it. So you realize, like, man, you have limited time and there's so much left to do and to improve. So you need to talk with guys that are actually doing that as well. And just omit all the guys who are not doing that, because otherwise it just weigh down.
100%. Yeah, I saw this thing. It was like, like a screenshot of Twitter or something. Some girls like, why do guys start podcasts instead of just going to therapy? Like, that's exactly what we do. So
that's the
let's
same
just start
thing,
a podcast so we can talk to other dudes. But
exactly. You put it out there publicly, and then other dudes can comment, and learn from it as well. Yeah.
And I think that's like a huge thing for men who are listening, is just get some other dudes that you can talk to, whether it's, I don't care if it's on a forum or whatever, but just talk to other dudes. I don't think we do that enough anymore. After like college, you don't, usually find a spouse and then you just go off with her, and she has girls' nights and the dude stays in and just like, I get to stay home alone. But a lot of guys don't have enough dude friends. And that's something I've been trying to work on too, is like, let's meet some guys who I can just talk to, because there's some shit on my chest that I would otherwise just hold in. And then that leads to, other deleterious effects downstream too, because you're just not talking. And so it's there's all this stuff that we don't talk about. The testosterone's flashy and cool, but there's so many levels to this.
It's very superficial, right? If you really get into the business and the mental health, I mean, there's so many levels to that. What I found works well is if you build up like a respectful relationship, friendship with people you also do business with. You do collaborations like this, and you turn that into a friendship because there's mutual respect there. Yeah. And, you go to the gym, of course, everybody comes from different aspects of life. So you can meet interesting people at the gym, but since there's so many people there, it might not always play out. Like the amount of friends that I made in the gym the last 10 years, I can count on one hand. But I talked to plenty of dudes there. But not everybody's on that level where I want to spend extra time with them talking about business, because most guys just go there to bodybuild or just have a workout, and they don't really care about that, right? So finding, quality people in your life is difficult, but through YouTube, you see a lot more people are highly driven and they're out there just trying to educate and being part of the fitness industry or the longevity industry or whatever. And that way you can actually meet a ton of people. I met, like, when I went to Las Vegas, for example, I tried to follow a couple of people who document Las Vegas from a hotel perspective, activity, right, discounts, that kind of stuff. And I met 2 super cool dudes through that industry, all high value, super interesting, like great go-getters, right? And then you meet them in real life and you realize, they're on TRT too. You just don't talk about it. Of course. That was so funny, right? And they follow you back for the TRT advice, and I follow them for the Las Vegas advice. And you see that there's so many, cool guys on this planet who all end up doing the same thing. They learn a lot in their life, and then they're on YouTube trying to give back. Yeah. And super cool people to hang out with in real life.
There's so many of those cliches of, like surround yourself with people you want to be like and stuff like that, but yeah, YouTube's a cool thing because you kind of get a glimpse into these people's life, and it's just crazy how things happen, like if you just keep chipping away day after day, eventually, like literally, Derek was somebody, I didn't watch a lot of Derek's stuff, but I knew who he was and had mad respect. I'm like, this dude's killing it, when I listened to him, like, this guy is very educated for not being like medically trained or anything. And I thought, he was a little bit younger, like his demographic was a little bit younger than I was at the time, but I still had mad respect for him. Like, it's awesome. And then he's in my DMs one day and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, cause I just kept chipping away at my, stuff. And then, like I said, I was listening to you and now I'm sitting here talking to you and I'm like, 2 years ago, I'd be watching your YouTube.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's how it goes. I mean, I was the same. I was like some background coach here in Asia, and then suddenly Derek is in my inbox. Yeah, I saw some videos you did with Tony Huge and Dan the bodybuilder in Thailand. Can we? And then, and because of Derek, I had a huge push on social media, and he tried, said, just go on social media, it'll pay off. And now we're here, and now I can have, podcasts with Stan Everding and Derek and bigger names. And at one point, you'll be in the same position, right? Yeah. You'll have guys that with like 1,000 followers that like, can it be on your podcast? And then you're like, I like this guy.
Yeah.
This guy's smart.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right? I love that stuff,
It's awesome to pay it forward too, when you can help other people, and it just, I don't know, all these little things they said are cliche. They really just, it helps propel your life so much. It's really cool.
It's true. You have to get smart enough to be in a position where you can give back, and then you give back to the people who want to take that opportunity, So I'll see in 2 or 3 years, you'll get the same thing. People who are watching your podcast and follow you and all the other collaborations, and they're like, man, really like Adam. He's so smart about everything. And then they do a collab with you, and then you realize that these guys are super smart also. Just need a little bit of a head start or a kick in the butt. Like,
it's cool stuff, man.
It sucks the comment section, but it's still.
Oh man, that fucking comment section, dude! Did you see? I got a whole Nick Trigili video made about me too.
I saw that.
Was good stuff. Yeah.
Me and Derek.
I was like, I made it.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Derek had a good conversation about some private messages he got from Corey way back in the day, 2 years ago. Like, oh man, she went from expert or from knowing nothing at all to expert in 2 years.
Yeah.
Big ups, right? But she's doing her part. She's giving back, so I can't hate. But
no, I don't hate on either of them. I was like, when I looked at her stuff, I was like, I actually really like this stuff. It's really good. Yeah. And then, Nick is obviously growing a huge following on his own.
Not anymore.
True. Maybe on Rumble.
Well,
I don't know how that goes.
It's horrible, Yeah, he got banned 3 times now. Yeah, so maybe he'll be back. But
he's a smart dude. He does well when he does it.
You can't push the buttons too far. You piss off too many people, you get canceled. It's that simple. Yeah. So hopefully when that happened, I was
like, man, I made it in this world, like the bodybuilding world. Like I'm on the cover of a Nick Trigili video. This is fucking sick. I mean, I didn't think that way at first, but it was overall a really good experience for me. There was so much love in the comments. I was like, this is cool. Usually the comments, man, true. Comments are terrible usually. Fuck.
They'll tear you down, but if they start, pulling for you, then it's good,
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think my first claim to fame was the Liver King debacle.
Oh yeah, of course.
And then I suddenly was everywhere. I think Greg Duchette made like 10 videos about me.
Oh really?
That was a lot of free advertisement. Thanks.
Yeah.